Every covert hypnosis student sooner or later encounters resistance, and that's really nothing to be afraid of. In fact, resistance is something to be looking forward to, because it's an indication of two important factors. First, you're actually going out there in the real world and trying out the techniques, acquiring the necessary skills to becoming a master persuader. And second, you're pushing the boundaries by trying out what works on certain types of people and what doesn't, again gaining valuable experience. Remember, if you get no reaction from your subjects, it means that your message isn't being received at all. And if you get active resistance, that means that you presented your message a little bit too overtly. Covert hypnosis is about walking the thin line between unconscious disregard and conscious awareness of the intended message. It takes some practice to get to the level of being able to predictably present your messages in just the right way for them to be accepted. And to get to that level, you need experience, which means you have to go out there and try out what you've learned. In this video, I'm going to discuss a few scenarios when you're more likely to encounter resistance, and I'm going to tell you what to do about it.
Let's talk about resistance to covert hypnosis. Most people make the mistake of bragging about knowing covert hypnosis and get the people to always have their guards up while talking with them. Some are afraid that people will catch them and resist their attempts, yet others seem so unnatural with their techniques that people naturally resist them. Covert hypnosis is a natural way of powerful communication. When done correctly, nobody will resist you, because it's covert, and thus people won't notice you using the techniques. Of course, when starting out, one always makes mistakes, but that's okay. When people know you're studying covert hypnosis, you already have a huge advantage. There's a preconceived notion in the general population of what hypnosis is. Everybody expects either to fall asleep or become completely zombie-like when you use it on them. Most people saw a stage hypnotist show or saw a movie about hypnosis, and what they expect is for you to talk in a certain voice, or jerk their hands really quickly, or make them stare at light, and so on. Well, you know that covert hypnosis isn't about that at all, and herein lies your advantage. So, when you notice resistance from people, first think what category they fall into. Did you tell them you're studying covert hypnosis? Do you know them for a very long time and now you've suddenly drastically changed your style of communication? Are you actually amping their feelings too much? Are you even sure they're really resisting you? Let's look at each of these points separately now and see what we can do about them. If you told them about studying covert hypnosis, there's a fairly good chance they're suspicious and therefore automatically resist your suggestions. What you should do is deepen rapport and begin only using the most covert methods, like stage shifts, embedded commands, nested loops, covert anchors, indirect suggestions, and so on. And do that until you notice they're responding really well to you again. What I like to do is to first match their state and then slowly drop myself into that more attentive, more focused, and more suggestible state. And we're gonna discuss this technique in one of the later videos. The second category are people that know you for a very long time, and these are the most likely people to notice something different and tease you about it. And kind of paradoxically, these are the people you want to train on the most, because they're the most likely ones to call you out on whatever you're doing and inadvertently tell you what you're doing wrong. The solution to this category of people is similar to the one we discussed before. Use more covert techniques and try to tailor whatever you're doing to your style of communication. This is actually what I encourage you to do anyway. So, many people, when they begin to study covert hypnosis, they think they have to use this hypno voice and use those pauses and stuff like that. And it becomes really unnatural, especially to people they know, and those people will call them out on it. So try to be as natural as possible and try to incorporate the techniques into your specific personality rather than the other way around. The third category of people that frequently resist covert hypnosis are the ones that get their feelings amped up too much. In everyday situations, we aren't used to actually feeling all those extreme highs and extreme lows of feelings. When you amp up the feelings too much, it confuses people, and it doesn't seem natural to them, so they will usually resist you. Make sure you amp the feelings up just right for the context you're currently in. And last but not least, most of the times it happens that the people aren't really used to powerful and persuasive communication like covert hypnosis. So at first they might seem a bit reluctant to listen, but what they really feel inside is, wow, this guy or girl is really good. They usually fall into a deep waking trance and into your quote-unquote spell. It might only seem to you that they are resisting you, but in reality you have a far greater effect on them than you could possibly imagine. Hope this clears up some things about resistance to covert hypnosis. And remember, you won't get caught unless you told them you're doing it, and even then you can always say, okay, let's forget about covert hypnosis for a minute and tell me this, and then just continue to use covert hypnosis.